Hello everyone, it's Daz, and it's hard to believe that we are at the last Friday of January. 2019 is already going by pretty fast, and as always, I have the top 5 craziest stories of the month, and let me get into it. So, number 5, penguins rescued by police months after being stolen from zoo. Police have picked up a pair of stolen penguins with a tip-off preventing their disappearance from turning into a cold case. Nottinghamshire police said the 2 Humboldt penguins were taken from a zoo in November, but they were able to recover the South American birds after putting our beaks in. After finding the black and white animals at a property in Strelly Village on Wednesday, they arrested a 23-year-old man on suspicion of burglary and theft. A police spokesman said rather than let it turn into a cold case, we acted quickly on a tip-off that the pair of Humboldt penguins had been taken in November and were now believed to be residing in Knott's. After putting our beaks in and making inquiries, we recovered the birds safe and well on Wednesday afternoon and returned them to the zoo. Sergeant Andrew Browning, who worked alongside PC Paul Toon to find the penguins, said it was an unusual one. He added, "My first thought was, this is one for the books and one to tell the grandkids, because there's no way we thought we could go down there and actually find 2 penguins. It was an unusual one. Even when we went down to custody, it made everyone laugh, particularly the custody sergeant who was booking us in. It was a real off-the-wall find." The species of penguin involved are usually found along the coast of Peru and Chile and grow up to 2 feet tall. Police and the man arrested has since been released under investigation. Number 4. Pennsylvania man's pet alligator is an emotional support animal. January 18th. A Pennsylvania man says his pet alligator is an emotional support animal, and he has been taking the reptile to visit the elderly. Joey Henney, who hosted his own hunting and fishing show from 1989 until 2000, on outlets including ESPN Outdoors, and his 4.5-foot alligator, Wally, paid a visit to the Gladfelter Community Center at Assisted Living Development, the Village at Sprinkle Drive, north of York. Henry encouraged residents and staff members not to be afraid of the alligator's mouth full of teeth. "He's just like a dog," Henry told the York Daily Record. "He wants to be loved and petted." He said Wally pays frequent visits to schools and senior centers. Henry said the alligator is a registered emotional support animal, but isn't granted any special privileges under the Americans with Disability Act. Henry said Wally spends the bulk of his time in a 300-gallon pond in his living room. He said the gator enjoys watching TV and hiding in his home's cupboards. Number 3. Man brings dead raccoon into McDonald's, doesn't order fries with that. Some McDonald's employees in Florida went on strike this week for safer working conditions. They should see what their colleagues in San Francisco have to deal with. Anyone want a dead raccoon with their Egg McMuffin? A man carried a raccoon into a McDonald's Sunday morning, placed the bloody carcass on a table, and took a seat, according to SF Gate. "The guy came in screaming, 'Help! Help! Help!' Chris Brooks told SF Gate. 'He came to the counter, and I thought it was a dog at first. The employees told him to leave, and he went and sat down with it.' Brooks ran out to his car, fetched his phone, and started recording the incident. The video will probably get as much internet attention as last week's video of a man in St. Petersburg attacking a McDonald's employee after discovering the restaurant did not have plastic straws readily available. That prompted the group Fight for $15 to strike during Tuesday. Fight for $15 seeks to raise Florida's minimum wage to $15. There's no telling what California workers would demand if their job entailed serving customers carrying dead raccoons. This particular patron did not order anything. In the video, he just sat there until an unidentified man picked up the raccoon, took it outside, and dumped it in the trash can. The raccoon man is suspected to be homeless. Police arrived and gave him a mental health evaluation. Somehow, trying to dine with the dead raccoon did not meet the standards for psychiatric detention. Then again, it is San Francisco. Based on our information, he did not meet the criteria, Officer Adam Lobsinger told SF Gate. "We always offer services. The city has a number of services. When we do a mental health detention, that's a little more in-depth. That means you're a threat to yourself or others." The restaurant closed for 5 hours after the incident so employees could sanitize the dining room. The Department of Environmental Health gave the restaurant a clean bill of health and animal control, removed the raccoon from the premises. Will that be enough to entice customers to return? Never, Brooks told KGO TV. Never, never. So we've had a lot of animal stories. And I know that some of you might be getting tired of it, but number 2 is moving a little bit more toward the microscopic side with arachnids. Imagine walking into this wall of spiders and never sleep again. You know what's more terrifying than spiders creeping into your home in the middle of the night? Spiders in the freaking skies, man. The Guardian on Friday reported recent accounts of such an occurrence in Brazil, where people have reportedly claimed it's raining spiders. A video recently shared to Facebook of the phenomenon in the Brazilian states of Minas Gerais appears to show hundreds of spiders suspended in the air like something straight out of your worst arachnid nightmares. The video, according to local news outlets Terra do Mundo, Donna Gersina Marantelli, the teen's grandmother, told the site that there was a lot more webs and thousands of spiders than it appears in the video, per an English translation. Terrifying as it may be, this is evidently something that is common of the species Parawexia bistrata, and occurs during hotter, humid times of the year, according to The Guardian, citing Federal University of Minas Gerais professor and arachnology specialist Adalberto Santos. These arachnids are reportedly social creatures who band together to make one massive web that they use to catch food. As for reports of flying spiders, that may be the result of behavior referred to as ballooning, Terra de Mundo reported. Some spiders use ballooning to catch gusts of winds and surf the skies. Watching teeny tiny crab spiders do this is actually pretty freaking awesome, even if the presence in the sky is, not. That's that for that story, and it's crazy that they had to deal with the wall of spiders. I personally do not like spiders, and I couldn't deal very well with that. And number 1, Florida man threatens to kill neighbor with kindness, the name of his Machete. A Florida man is behind bars after he allegedly threatened to kill his neighbor with kindness. It's not what you think. Kindness is what the 30-year-old suspect Brian Stewart calls his machete, according to police. Stewart of Milton, who was arrested on Thursday for an incident that allegedly happened Wednesday evening. It began when 2 of Stewart's neighbors went to the suspect's house concerned about yelling and banging that had come from the home all day, according to Pensacola News Journal. Stewart came out of the house with an arm raised holding the machete, which had the words kindness written on it. One of the neighbors stepped in front of the other to block the blade and suffered a half-inch cut on his left hand. The Santa Rosa Sheriff's Department was called, and deputies arrived and arrested Stewart. They said Stewart's breath smelled of alcohol, and he had been stunned with a taser before he was put inside the patrol car, according to Orlando TV station WOFL. Police also said he had to be hobbled after kicking inside the car and banging his head, according to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. On Thursday, Stewart was booked into Santa Rosa jail on charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without the intent to kill and aggravated battery. He remains behind bars in lieu of $10,000 bail. Well, there you have it for the top 5 stories of the month. A lot of animals and a machete that's called kindness. That's a new way to look at killing someone with kindness. But I like to know what you guys' thoughts are on these stories. What do you think was the craziest of the 5? And are there any stories that I missed that you would have liked to have heard, or you think top any of these? Let me know what you think, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Take care, and God bless.